Oh me, oh my. I need to wax that sucker. Get that stuff taken care of on the bodywork. I don't care about a few primer spots. And wax it so it'll keep that shine. So okay guys, now before we start the actual video, stick around till the end to reveal who is the winner of this light bar. So make sure you stick around till the end. We're gonna give this away. Yeah, that's right. We pulled the engine last night. I was like, well, instead of doing that, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and put the 1800 kV Fusion in there. My high trail has donated parts to this build. This is one of my first Fusions I've bought. So I figure we'll at least put a brand new one back in it. But I think it's actually time for that truck to get the Pro. So, and also, thinking about getting on the computer and changing some tones while I got this. If I can squeeze that into the back of the truck here, we may go ahead and put some sound into this one. Why not, right? I can get a Jeep sound, right? We'll find out. If not, we'll make it sound like it's got a 350 Chevy in it. So, this truck is turning out to be so much cooler than I thought. And I liked it right off the bat. They're so different. They're so basically simple, like the transmission stuff here. I don't know what kind of gear reduction is in this, but to be honest, you can get just as much in a little system like this as you could in a big box full of gears. I mean, you can do the same thing in a smaller setup, and obviously they've done that. It's kind of jumpy, so like I say, it could probably get a smaller pinion, would have helped with the stock motor. But with the Fusion, we should not have any issues. The HOBBYWING 1080 done such a remarkable upgrade to it that the Fusion should be really good, like anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up. I've never done that before, but first let me show you this. This is another part of my favorite things on this truck. 8 screws on the bottom, and since I took electronics out, that didn't matter, but you do have to unplug a few things if you're not. And boom, just like in real life, man, you get to pull the whole shebang right up off of there. Of course, the doghouse I might have already had off if that was the case. But this is kind of fun, taking a truck that I've never drove, never even put a battery in, I don't think, and doing this to it first. It's so simple to work on. It's so basic. I love it. So, alright, I know the lighting sucks in here, but I'm going to try to show you what you got in case you haven't seen already. I took the 4 screws out of the outside of this, and when you pull this cover off, you can hold down on the gear if you want to. You don't have to, but there's a big bearing in the cover and a little bearing. Then you got the spur gear type deal with a slipper clutch right here that if you need to tighten it, you can actually tighten the slipper clutch without taking nothing out of the truck. I thought you had to take it out. I didn't know. At first, I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. I realized the screw sticks out, you can tighten it right there. That's a common thing I've noticed people complain about, but I haven't drove these enough to have that issue just yet. They just say they always got to tighten up the slipper clutch, which is no problem. Now when you take that gear off, there's 4 more screws behind this setup. Be careful, because this gear will fall out and there's a pin behind it. And the way this is set up, you got your motor gear right in the middle, and then there's a big gear on the top that runs it, and it goes through this rod and turns into a small gear, which comes down to this one and spins it. So it's kind of just a weird system. There's a gear here, big one here, that spins this one here to turn this one down here, if you understand that part. So I took 3 out of 4 screws out of here. I did not take the last one out just yet. And I didn't pull this pin gear off because I didn't want to lose it, and I'm still trying to keep everything in my head how it looks. So there's that one. So now I'm just going to pull this cover straight up and leave everything that stays in it. Okay, now you got to look out though. There's a pin behind this one. We don't want to go one side or the other is going to come out. Oops, sorry. You can't see nothing I'm doing. There you go. You see it down here on the bottom. So, but I'm still just going to leave that alone as it is right there. If it falls out right there, we'll know. Jeez. So now here's the gear that was in it. I'm going to look at it so we know which way it went in. You can see where the pin goes and everything. Sorry guys, I don't want to tap my screen with my greasy finger. This stuff's got some real grease, but we'll take that on out. And you can see it goes from your pinion gear to this gear, which runs through the shaft, spins the smaller gear. So it's kind of a weird setup, but it works, right? That's all that matters. The grease they got in there is worse than any. It's like honey. I don't even feel like grease. It's so sticky. It feels like syrup. So I could actually put this one in facing the other way if I wanted to, but we won't do that. This is going to be the fun part right here. Has to be right. So we'll put the gear in there. Looks perfect right there. It is. So, my advice, if you're putting in a fusion, go dead flush to the end here. It is up just a little bit. It's looking like it's about right there, you know, so that gives me just that little bit of room. So I'd rather it be down just a touch, you know, or, you know, have a little play there. So we're going to call that good and see what happens, I guess. We'll put the first part together and we'll know. Very nice. It's gonna be awesome, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know which way we should be facing these wires. Straight up, I suppose, looking at everything. Yeah, we'll go straight up with them. So, let's go ahead and just put some screws back in this to start. Right there, looks like the ones. I love that that motor's flat too. I can just set it straight down like that. It's pretty dandy. But yeah, Eric, man, this tool set, this little electric screwdriver, boy, I use that thing so much now. I do jobs that I have put off for years because I did not want to turn all the screws, you know what I mean? And now when I come across that situation, I just grab my little drill and I go to town on it. My little screwdriver. I've always had a big drill I could use, but that's not the point. So, alright, I didn't want to keep dragging that out too long. I was recording the whole thing, decided to go ahead and break it up a little bit. So now, anyway, since we are using that same pinion gear, we're not going bigger or nothing, I took that shaft out, right, and I put it on this gear because I thought that was how I was going to have to use it to line it up, which you do in order to make sure it's up and down to the right amount. But it turns out I can take this back out if I want to. Come on, get out of there. Because as long as you're using the same gear, same on the motor, I was able, the motor itself is raised all the way up in the slot as far as it will go, and it leaves just enough mesh still for that gear. So that's the only reason I took it back off to show you this, is because I was going through all the process to mesh it right, and then I realized as long as this is still pretty much stock and ain't been tampered with, using the same gear, all you gotta do is raise it up as far as it will go in this plastic. Sorry. As long as you do that, it's exactly where it needs to be now. Now, I'm probably gonna need some light over here to do what I'm about to need to do here. I don't know where the hell hole is. Dang no dang, man. Ain't no dang boo, man. Come on now. There it is. There it is. I see the hole. I sees the hole. Come on now. Where's the hole? I seed it. I seed it. But it's in there where I just can't hit. There we go. Oh yeah. In the hole. put the gear back on the hole. There we go. Gear on. So now then, I know this ain't the best angle or none of that, and that was worse. I got to get out and put my brake pads on my truck today. That is what my goal is. I have to do this real quick because we're going to get to announcing the winner of that light bar at the end of this video. And again, guys, don't forget FMS's sale is still going on. I mean, 30 to 33% off some of their rigs is a heck of a deal. Heck of a deal. Oh, that's so smooth. That's buttery smooth now, man. Like butter. Where's all my screws at? Oh. Butter. Now, when you take out these screws, man, them two on the side are long, baby. Long. Top ones here are short. I snug them up, then I tighten them by hand. But even with this tool, it's got the gears it takes to do it. So I don't get carried away. If it needs really to be tightened by hand, I don't use this. But plus, I just put this on charge for a few seconds a minute ago, and it's kicking butt again. But I need to charge it. I love this too. I don't remember if Eric ever gave me a link for this so I could put it in the description or anything. But I'm sure it just came off Amazon. And it's badass, as you can tell. That one there feels like it crossed a little bit, and it still drove it in. So there we go, yo. Beautiful, beautiful feeling transmission. So now then, all we gotta do is slap it back together real fast. This thing here also, this is something that I thought was pretty cool, is how easy this goes in. I mean, I started taking all this apart yesterday. I was like, well, what am I doing that for? All you do is this. Shoot. It's done. That easy. Boom, right? It's like, really? That's it? As far as remembering the right screws, and you're good. I mean, literally, I was going to say the easiest motor you could ever have to uninstall and put on. But the fact that you do have to remove 8 screws out of the body first, I guess maybe it's not. Because I took this fusion out of my Traxxas with 3 screws and unplugged it. Luckily, I didn't have to take the receiver box cover off or nothing like that because I had an extension plugged into this, or to this. Bam, that was easy, wasn't it? All I gotta do is set the body back on here and we're done. And of course, I should have put one that already had a dang Dean's on it, but I didn't. I took it out of that truck. But that's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Don't even tell me it is. I know it ain't. So, that was just the best install so far. And then when you just do this, and I think this is the best part. I wish I had a lift. Man, I need a garage lift. It would have been so cool to lift this body up off of this chassis on an actual lift because it would have been perfect. You know it would have been. Don't act like you didn't think it was. Look at this. Boom shakalaka. Really? Is that easy? You said, is it that easy? Yes, it's that easy. Alright, get in there. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole. There you go. Just like that, man. Just like that. Throw them in there and come back to it in 6 months like I would if it was real. Alright, now I'm going to slap these screws in here real fast. Now, I think you guys are going to like both of the outcomes on these vehicles. Whether you're going brushed or brushless, you're going to dig the way these work. Now, I'm going to try to get a good view. I was just thinking about setting this right here for a minute. The one on your left is brushed. the HOBBYWING 1080, HOBBYWING Fusion over there, right? So what we're gonna do, I'm trying to set it, it's not gonna matter that these are here. So, well, you guys will believe me, it don't matter there. I just want to show you the slow crawl first. We're gonna go with the Fusion since I know it's slower. And what I do here, I've already sit there and then trimmed it up to where all I gotta do is tap it one more time to go. It took, you know, a few good trims before it would even move. But one trim, and now she's rolling. Let's go ahead and make sure that that thing is trimmed to the right a little more. I guess that's it. All right. That was the steering I just hit. So anyway, there's our slow crawl on that. Now on here, I had to hit it a few times to get it close. And then when it's time to go, it still takes about 3 clicks to move. Well, I got to get it to where it's back where it was again. There we go. That one budged. One more and it'll kind of start twitching but not actually crawling. And then I hit it a third time and there she goes. That is the HOBBYWING 1080 though. You can't really complain about that. I mean, sure, compared to this, but really, I mean, it's not bad. Now, here's the only downfall with the 1080. It's not a downfall. Here's the only difference, though, on the 1080 compared to the Fusion. Watch when it gets to this. I got the remote still sitting over there, so hopefully I'm right. Boom. She stalled. Okay. So now, we're just going to continue waiting on this one to get here. Let's just back it up here. I'm going to leave the remote right there, but I'm going to have to grab it in a minute because this one's not going to stall. At least it shouldn't. I don't think it's going to stall. It's not supposed to. It's got FOC technology. Do 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 do. And continue crawling, continue crawling, continue crawling. And then we have to go stop. One click, she stops. Now again, it did take a few clicks before you get to the realm of it going, but I preset it to that point. Alright guys, don't forget, spring sale is on with FMS right now. I don't know exactly which rigs are on the sale. A lot of their little 24 series are, but not all of them. So go check out their site, see what you can get. Click on the link when you go there and help out the channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, especially you guys have already clicked on the link and bought some stuff. That's really awesome. I really appreciate it. Now, let's get this light bar given away. 81 comments. Okay, there's 81 of you guys that said light bar only this time. I appreciate you guys following that rule. Very cool. So 81 comments, and what we're going to end up doing is going back to that you sucker, going all the way back to the beginning of them, which is cool. Anyway, I just counted them, and that was without counting any of the other stuff, just light bar. So let's go to find my generator I downloaded the other day, wherever she is. Right there, boom. See what kind of crap it puts on my screen first. There we go. So you hit random on this one. Then we'll go from 1 to 81. Okay, hit OK. And boom. Number 10. Keep it simple. I like it. Number 10. So we're going to skip any comment that did not say it as we count. We're only counting the light bar ones. That's how we're going to do this. Super easy. Now, at the very beginning here, there was a lot that did not say it, so go in that direction. Oops, you sucker, hit it again. All right, this is the first one, so we'll skip it. Skip, skip, skip. Took a minute before we actually got someone to say it. There we go, the first one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, No, that ain't 5. What am I saying? Dum-dum. 4. 5. 6. 7. No, that ain't 7. You stupid. See how dumb I am? Ay. 7. 8. 9. 10. Blue Cuban. 71. So now, because I messed up a few times, we're going to count backwards now to make sure it's Blue Cuban 71. Okay, we're going to start with him as number 1. 2. 3, 4. 5. 6. Trying to get slow enough you guys can see. 7. 8. 9. 10. 'Alright. Blue Cuban, you won. We'll go back down it one more time. Nice and slow again. In case you guys need to. Find that first one. Alright. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. I passed that tall one. It's 8. 9. And 10. Blue Cuban 71. Didn't you win something in the past, like the winch or something, a long time ago? Yeah, I know that name. I don't know the person, but I think one of my first giveaways he was in on. Maybe he won some of the 3D printed stuff. I don't remember. Anyway, Blue Cuban 71, you have to watch this video. You have to comment to get your prize. Congratulations to you. And I'm going to find something else to give away again coming up real soon.